There are very few women in tech in South Africa. Is it just that women aren't good enough?
Let me clarify that. I think there's very few women in tech worldwide. South Africa is part. We're obviously seeing it from a South African perspective, but worldwide it's shown that it's actually a global concern. Um, are women not good enough? That's an interesting question actually. Just coming from my personal experience, I've obviously been in tech for the last 17 years. And I've been involved in tech for ages. I studied computer science at school. I did computer science degree. During my university years, there were actually more women in my class than there were actually guys. And over the years, what has happened is, I guess the women that have obviously started, they found different roles, and they didn't stay in pure tech development. They moved on to other specific roles in the tech field. So I think the concern here is that over the years, tech is predominantly occupied by males. So obviously there's a lot of male presence that you would see. And I think there's just not enough role models or not enough publicity for women who are in these high, because they do exist. But obviously, if you are one out of, for argument's sake, 25, then you're obviously not going to be highlighted as much as your male colleagues. I don't think it's a matter of women not being good enough. I think the women that are definitely in the space and have certainly have lasted over the last 10 years or 15 years or whatever, they want to be in that space, because to be honest, I think if you're not interested in a specific field, then it's pointless staying in there. And tech is one of those areas where you have to constantly be keeping up to date with the latest trends. It's not something like a medical profession or something theoretical where it kind of stays.
The big market, though, in terms of the consumers, is women, and
Yeah.
yet we're not seeing women doing the development for that market.
I think as time is going on, women are actually seeing that there's actually more to the field than just basically sitting down in the corner and coding. To be honest, I was one of those women, and as I progressed in my career, I didn't like that. I wanted to get more involved in actually working out what we are developing solutions for the actual consumer. And that's different areas. So I think as time goes on, and especially with app development, it's highlighted that there's more than just sitting in a corner coding. So over the next few years, I'm very optimistic that you will see a change in the numbers. I'm involved in a lot of mentoring programs at the University of Western Cape, and other programs where I encourage app development, and not necessarily amongst women, but I find that there's quite a few females that will come up to me and chat to me and say, they didn't realize that there's so many different aspects to the whole tech ecosystem. I think it's just portrayed in a very stereotypical, you just sit in a corner and code. In this day and age, especially with app development, where you can't just sit there and code. There's so much. There's user experience design, there's product strategy, there's business analysis, there's a whole lot of different fields where you collaborate with everybody else in there. So there's definitely a place for people to fit in.